Yeah, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our weekly PSF Job and Career Guidance Seminar. Today we have with us Mr. Shafiq Ahmed. He's a senior HR. He'd like to take a session today on how to navigate job hunting during these pandemic times. So, Shafiq, please go ahead and get started. Thanks for the seminar.
Great, thanks, Samay. My name is Shafiq. I'm from the HR background. I've been, a volunteer for PSF for a very long time. So I'm not sure if you all heard about PSF. I can quickly introduce about PSF to all of you. I know this is a small group. Let's try to make it more interactive. Keep sharing your thoughts, ideas, questions. More important, right? Keep asking those questions. Let those questions coming in. We can also park few minutes towards the end, to review, a couple of important things, as part of your career, and also any questions you want to kind of, ask. We can do that towards the end, right? Let me quickly start with an introduction about PSF. So PSF is a Professional Solidarity Forum. It's an NGO formed by all IT, non-IT professionals, from majorly from Hyderabad, and you will actually find all volunteers from all different kind of streams here. And this is kind of slightly, it's definitely old organization, and we've been working into different streams. One of the important stream is job and career guidance. We've been also kind of providing guidance to our professionals who are already working in different companies, bringing those professionals together on one platform to kind of leverage their expertise, their experience, and providing that as a service to our community. Right, there are different kind of activities we keep doing. We got a huge kind of network across the industries, and we have also partnered with big organizations, other NGOs, and other government organizations to run different activities. Right, one of the couple of things what we did in the past was job and career guidance kind of activities. We also did some after this pandemic started, right? So we actually did a lot of virtual kind of sessions, and then those virtual sessions was primarily focused on upskilling, providing job and career guidance, for our network. So we also maintain a very strong network of job seekers. There are like a couple of WhatsApp groups, where we got close to 600 to 700 people continuously connected with PSF, and we kind of provide them with all those openings within Hyderabad. That's another thing, which is part of this job and career guidance. Also provide support to our startup community, startup people who is working on those small startups. Provide those consulting kind of services free of cost. All of the services, we don't charge even a single pie, right? There could be some basic cost, just to bring that seriousness in those activities or to cover other expenses, but it's supposed to be kind of free of cost. As I told you, we also provide services to our professional fraternity. We identify top talent within ourselves, and then try to promote them, utilize their skills in different areas. We also provide services to society. We also did huge service to society during pandemic, providing that food kind of arrangement, for those needy. And there's a few things which we have been kind of focusing on. I will directly jump into our today's topic. So our today's topic is how to navigate job hunting, during pandemic, right? We are not going to, let me call out this, we're not going to really show you how to search jobs online or what are the different ways. You may not really find a quick solution here. There's never a quick fix for this kind of topics. It's more about sharing some thoughts in terms of what kind of mindset you should have. What are those important things you need to keep in mind when searching for a job during this pandemic, right? And this pandemic is unique. I don't think any of our generations or in the past would have actually gone through this. So none of us were actually prepared, to face this pandemic, and then we are learning as we go. So as a job seeker, what is that you need to keep in mind? What are those few important things you need to keep doing during this time so that you still stay focused, so that you still stay relevant, for the job market. And towards the end, definitely, as I told you, we're going to spend good amount of time, taking questions and trying to answer. There can be few questions which I may not be able to answer, so I might actually go back and come back to you later in the next session with any of those answers, right? So one request from my side is I would want you, all of you, to make this really interactive. If possible, try to switch on your videos. If unless you have a question, be on mute. But keep keep sharing your thoughts, even if the thought may not be so relevant. Open up and then talk about it from your perspective. All right, so all set. Are you able to hear me? Can you see me on the video? Can you see my presentation on the video? Can someone unmute and confirm?
Yes, we can see you and your presentation also.
Perfect. And just in case if you're not able to hear me while making this presentation, just call out. I'll be happy to adjust my my headset and my speaker here. So we all know there's no introduction really required for this pandemic, right? We are all going through this, and we've been going through this from past couple of months' time. People who have shifted the job, were in process of shifting the job. There are a lot of our friends who are actually trying to launch their career immediately after their education. There are few folks who's kind of relocated from other countries, who's kind of willing to kind of launch their career here in India. A few of our colleagues, few of our friends who took a brief break because of multiple reasons, want to start looking out for job. So these are the different categories of people we've got right now, who's kind of going through this tough situation. On the other side, we also have people who are working in different industries and different roles, who are still not clear how this pandemic is going to really impact them. And we are also seeing some job losses in few industries, in few spaces, not everywhere. The trend has been slightly increasing in last couple of weeks time, with more companies kind of deciding to lay off for different reasons, either citing performance as an issue, or citing pandemic, or citing business losses, and then eventually it's impacting our professionals who have been working for some time in this industries, right? We'll try to see if we can make this session relevant. If you are part of any of this this group, I'm sure you should see some value in in our discussion. So someone asked on the chat window how long the session would be. The session would we'll try to close the session by 12 p.m. and towards the end, for about 10 minutes time or 15 minutes time, we'll have this Q&A session, which means that our presentation will go for another half an hour, and we'll park 15 minutes toward the end for our Q&A. So before we start, we all know that we are pretty much staying at home, trying to stay safe, and trying to really take care of the important stuff. I don't need to really spend much time here. So let me directly jump onto this topic. So there's something called as mindset for everything what we do, right? So when I say mindset, this mindset actually drives a lot of stuff, right? For example, our belief system, drives what our actions, right? And our belief system is nothing but our mindset. Our belief system also drives performance. When I say performance, if our belief system says that, I can perform, I've already done this, I can do it better, then automatically my performance is kind of, going to the next level. If my belief system says that I haven't done this in the past, right? I never experienced an interview, right? And if my belief system, says that, you never experience interview, and this interview is going to be tough for you, then automatically my discussion with the HR or with any of those hiring managers would become tough. So our mindset connects to our belief system. So whatever action we take, right, it goes back to our belief system. How does our belief system really work? Our belief system works basis our previous experiences, our faith, right, and what we really believe in. For example, if I come from a traditional background which says that hard work is more important than anything else, right? That's my belief system. And if I go with that mindset to workplace, or if I go with that mindset, or apply that mindset in whatever I do, then probably I'll spend too much of time reading, too much of time preparing for it, right? Which is also a good situation in few cases, which may not be really a good situation in other cases. So the point here is mindset is really an important thing, which we need to start with. The moment you start about a job search or launching your career, what kind of mindset do you possess? What is your current mindset, right? Is your mindset open, flexible, or hardwired? Or is your mindset open for opportunities, or your mindset is kind of pushing you back, saying that this is a tough challenge, let me not do anything, right? Further deep dive on the mindset, we definitely need to change our mindset, right? This is something which is really important. So the reason why I want to start with this mindset is to really let you know the importance of our mindset and our belief system. Whatever we have done in the past may not be a right thing right now, may not be, right? There can be few situations where it is still relevant. So what means is, whatever you did maybe previous year in November, December, if you have been searching for a job, you were expecting that you'll be called for a physical interview. It may not happen now, right? You are ready to kind of have that eye contact and talk to the interviewer by being bold and confident. Right now, how do you do it in a different ecosystem, different system altogether? It's more virtual now. In this virtual world, what should you do to make your discussion more effective? It goes back and it connects to your mindset, which also means that now you need to change your mindset, and your mindset should be on the left side. Left side, what you see on the screen. What is left side you see on the screen? It's a growth mindset. There are two type of mindset what we eventually have for everyone, starting from his 0 years till whatever age he's got right now. One is growth mindset, the other one is fixed mindset. This is an important philosophy which every organization is running among their employees. That even if I'm like 15 years experience, and if I'm working in a big organization, unless I don't apply growth mindset, I may not be able to grow. Right? It could be a person, one of you who just launching the career. If you don't have that growth mindset, and if you don't exhibit or show that growth mindset in your conversations, in your discussions, and in your approach, you may not really grow very fast, or you may not be able to even search for a job or find a job. Right? So what does this really growth mindset and fixed mindset means? So in general, in simple terms, you can see this, a couple of examples written there. As part of growth mindset, failure is an opportunity for you to grow. You don't consider failure as a failure, right? What you do is you consider that as an opportunity. You consider that as a learning. For example, if you fail in one exam in your past education system, you always try to learn and then try to crack good marks in the next exam. You never said I'm not going to do it and stay back and in this continue in the same class. The reason why you are here searching for a job is you've scored decent marks, and in your student career, in your studies, you would have definitely failed or got less marks in your school life. What you did is you actually kind of took it as a challenge, and then scored better marks in the following exams, and then pass those exams. And that's also the reason why you're here, you're searching for a job. So what you did is you actually showed the growth mindset, right? So what really includes growth mindset is I can learn to do anything I want. If there is any skills which is required now for any companies to get a job, I will learn that skills. That's a growth mindset. If I need to change my ways of finding a job, this physical interviews which I was expecting is not going to happen now. Let me try to understand how this virtual interview world works. What should I do to prepare for those virtual interviews? Right? That's a growth mindset. In the past, industry was open. There were a lot of hiring. Almost every company was hiring, and I had options to choose which company to join. Right? But now the situation is different. Due to this pandemic, almost every company has stopped hiring. What should I really do now? Let me try different ways of finding a job. Let me try to kind of change my stream. Let me try to target other companies also, in addition to whatever I was targeting in the past. Let me go beyond Hyderabad for searching a job. That's your growth mindset, right? And you also take feedback as part of this growth mindset. Someone will come, your sir, your teacher, your mentor, or your parent, or your someone whom you believe as a guru would come and say, oh no, the way you are searching for a job is wrong. You need to do this way. Then you take that feedback as positive. You don't take that feedback as negative, right? And the news which is around you, which is actually talking a lot of negativity, you don't consider that as negativity, but rather consider it as an opportunity, right? It can be a bad news. Someone might actually expire in your family. Someone who's affected by, from the health side, not doing well, because of this, COVID, or it could be some other reasons. A lot of your relatives would have come back from, wherever they are across the globe, right? They might actually create a lot of negativity. But keep in mind, unless you don't convince your mind that you can go beyond, unless you don't carry that growth mindset, you will not achieve what you intend to achieve. If your goal is to get a job, you need to have that growth mindset. And you can see pretty much here what is this growth mindset is about. And this examples, whatever is written here, are like few of the examples. There is much more beyond growth mindset. And similarly, on the right side is what you see, fixed mindset. Most of us actually bring this fixed mindset to our job search, fixed mindset to our work, fixed mindset to whatever we do, whatever we have been doing, right? For example, fixed mindset is about, you fail once in the interview, and then you think that you will not be able to do it in the next time you stop hunting for the job. Just because you fail in 1-2 interviews, you cannot stop your job search, right? And if you're stopping it, then that's your fixed mindset. If you got a growth mindset, you will keep trying. And when you're trying, you'll also learn. And then whatever you learn, you try to apply. right? And you try to kind of challenge yourself. There's a last slide which I'll talk about how you should be as a job seeker, right? There are a lot of other examples on the fixed mindset. What you say is you are good at one skill and you're not good at other skills. Skill set is something which you can learn over a period of time, provided if you give that commitment, right? No one is born with the unique skills. There could be some cases where people are a little faster, but majority of us who have been successful in our careers have actually put efforts to learn that particular skill, right? At times you also have a mindset saying that you don't want to be challenged. The moment you face a tough question, you get worried, you go into panic mode, and then you will not react to it. Rather, you push back yourself and step out from that particular game, right? That's your fixed mindset. You should stay away from that, right? And you also define your potential that it is predetermined. You go by what your friends say that this is tough market. You go by your relatives who found not so many successes in their career, and you think that okay, nothing, things are not really possible in this world. That things, you may not be able to really get a job in this pandemic. Believe me, people are still joining companies. People are still finding opportunities. Companies are still hiring. They would have paused it for a moment. For some time, the market will open again. That's your growth mindset. So as a job seeker, it is really important for you to apply growth mindset in everything you do. I totally agree. You may slightly slip into fixed mindset at times in whatever you do, but come back strong. Immediately, the moment you think that no, you are actually framing your mindset, which is more towards negative side, which is more of a fixed mindset. Once you realize it, come back, step into growth mindset, area, and start taking everything as a challenge. Start taking everything as an opportunity. Feedback is really important. At times, you get feedback, and you may push it back, saying that oh, isko kuch malum hi nahi hai. How can he give me a feedback? Your juniors might actually come back and share some great insights. You may not take it, right? That's not really helpful, because your objective is to get a job, and to get a job, growth mindset is something which is really important, especially during this current situation, which is affecting all of us from health perspective and from business perspective and also from financial perspective, right? So keep in mind that you need a proper growth mindset to proceed with your job search and to land a good job. And what is this growth mindset about? Growth mindset in simple terms is about learning anything you want. Challenges will help you learn more. Challenges will keep you busy and will also kind of give you the opportunities. Failure is an opportunity to grow. The moment you wire this in your mind, automatically the growth mindset will come as a behavior in whatever you do. So how does this really growth mindset work, especially in this job seekers world? Right? If I'm a job seeker, there are 3-4 important things which I need to keep in mind. My next couple of slides will talk about what should be your behavior, what should be your growth mindset, the way it has to be. First, let's try to understand that we need to accept this particular phase, right? We need to accept that COVID exists, COVID is impacting jobs, COVID is impacting everyone on the health side, COVID has impacted financial market, COVID has globally impacted people mobility. People are stationed where they are. Earlier, they used to travel a lot, right? People used to travel for studies, used to travel for work. Travel is kind of impacted. There are multiple industries which has almost at the verge of shutting down, right? There are only few industries which are kind of trying to be very hard, stay very strong, right? So let's accept that this pandemic is occurring now. It has impacted all of us, and it is a temporary phase, right? Historically, if you go back and read about this kind of pandemics, I think which happened some 15-20 years back, it came, it went off, right? Recession, it came, it went off. There were a few industries which were forced to close down because of different regulations. They again started in a different phase, right? The moment you find that there is one company closing down its operations, automatically you'll find some other company who's going to take over that company and start hiring and provide those opportunities. One industry goes down because one reason, the other industry will grow, right? So the moment you find that there is this, there's this COVID kind of, pandemic which is happening, automatically this pharma industries has jumped on it, took it as an opportunity, started building on a good vaccine. There are multiple vaccines being developed right now across the globe, right? I'm sure one of the vaccines would really cure this. That is also something called as herd immunity, which we are finding. While there are so many cases, the recovery rate is kind of, increased. So let's have that mindset of accepting that it is there and it is impacting us and it is a temporary phase. If I'm searching for a job, I may not be able to get a job temporarily for some time. That's the acceptance. The moment you accept this fact, let's say what you focus, what you really control. may not be able to really control everything. You cannot go and influence saying that, oh, Wipro, Infosys, Deloitte, please start hiring. They'll not hear you, right? Or, you cannot just go and say that, pharma companies, please come and, provide a vaccine. You cannot go and influence your government saying that, please, provide some support to us, create some new jobs. They may not be able to do it, or you may not be able to really influence them. So whatever you need to focus is what you can really control. What do you really control? You control your career. You control your learning. You control your mindset. Whatever is available for you as a resources, try to explore. Whatever jobs you're seeing on the job boards, right, on Naukri.com, or whatever news you hear saying that X company is hiring, try for those companies, right? Expand your job search. The moment you start focusing on what you can control, then you will start exploring more in detail on what you control. For example, if I'm a job seeker, so far what I was thinking is I will find a good job here in IT industry on X skill set, or say software engineering. Or if I'm an MBA, so far I thought I'll find a good sales job in FMCG, one of the most reputed FMCG company in Hyderabad. Right now, looking at the current situation, first thing what I need to do is apply that growth mindset, whatever we discussed a few minutes back in the earlier slide. Accept saying that, okay, this situation is unique. This situation has impacted FMCG sector. This situation has impacted this job seekers world. It is going to impact me, and it has already started impacting me because I'm not able to still find a job. The moment I accept that, I also keep in mind that this is going to be a temporary phase. As a job seeker, since I'm searching for a job in software engineering or searching for a job in marketing or sales, I would say that temporarily I may not be able to get what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for three things, FMCG job in Hyderabad and good position, then one thing may not happen along with other two, right? So that's something which I need to accept. But once this temporary phase goes off, I might actually go back to my all three criteria and start looking for it. By then, if I find a job, I will continue and then switch over once the market becomes much better. Second thing is I'll focus more on what I can control. What I can control now, the options what I have, whatever I decide in my mind, I start off my career to launch my career in Hyderabad. That's the control which I have. Now I'll have to slightly think about only Hyderabad. Since this market is not so good, I might add one more city to my list. Let me not just focus on jobs only in Hyderabad. Let me also search in Bangalore. The moment I target some 10 jobs here in Hyderabad, automatically if I add one more location to my list, there'll be another 10 jobs which I can apply for. Then my chances of getting a job will increase. My focus is purely on what I can control. I'm controlling what I really desired for. If my desire is to get a job in Hyderabad, I might slightly change my options. I will say, let me go beyond Hyderabad. Let me search in Bangalore. Let me also search in Pune. Let me also search in in Chennai. This is entire India. I can go anywhere. Since situation is impacting all of us, let me go there. If I find a job in Pune, I'll go there, spend an year. By the time I finish 1 year, everything might come to normal, right? And then I can come back and join any big company in Hyderabad. So it means that I need to be open on relocation, which is pretty much in my control. Second, if I'm searching for a job in sales side, if I find a job in marketing, let me also try that marketing job. If I'm targeting a big company, let me also target on mid-sized companies. Let me not really have high bar, which is good to have high bar, but temporarily to kind of manage this current situation, let me try to compromise on a couple of aspects so that I can land job faster, right, and easier. And once I land any job in any company, I'm going to spend like 1 year, 2 years, or if I find that company to be good, I might continue as well, right? Or I might switch over. I would suggest instead of sitting at home idle, join somewhere so that you can learn at least anything, right? That's the focus I would, as a job seeker, would pay on. The third thing, important thing, which is upskilling at every stage of our career, whether I'm starting a career or whether you are like 15, 20 or 30 years experience, or you could be a student who's just finishing your studies, right? Or you could be someone who just came back, had a very lucrative job, a manager or senior manager kind of job, in say Middle East, or a good job in some other country. You did a master's from a reputed college across the globe, but because of certain restrictions, you're back to Hyderabad in India and searching for a job. Now, whatever you learned so far, whatever you had experienced so far, those skills, what you acquired, or those experience what you acquired, which is part of your profile, may not take you to the next level, may not help you to find a job in the local market. So what you need to do is you need to upskill. You need to really look at what skills are in demand, and what should I learn now to get those jobs, to get a job for now, right? That's more about upskilling. It's also about whatever technology I worked in the past may not be a great technology now because technologies keep changing. So how do I really upskill myself? So these are three important things which is part of your growth mindset as a job seeker. Accept what is happening. Keep in mind it's a temporary phase. Second, focus on only what you can control. Things which is out of your control, you cannot do anything. Simply you will create stress. Simply you will create a lot of anxiety on you. You will spoil your health. You will get demotivated. Finally, you will try to adjust whatever is available for you. Right? You might join your father's business, which does not really take you anywhere, or you might simply just try for some middle-aged job little later. You may which will not really help you to learn or grow in your career. You might actually compromise by sitting at home, not doing anything. Right? So that's the stress you get into. The moment you get into stress, you do all these activities. So focus on what you can control. So currently, what you're controlling is your learning ability. What you're controlling is the options, what you have, try to expand that options. Try to expand your search and use upskilling as an opportunity. It's a great opportunity. I'm telling you, a lot of researchers, scholars, and people who are at a top level are saying that this is the right time to learn any new skill. Because right now these skills are available at a click of it. You don't need to travel anywhere. If you want to learn from some course from Harvard, access Harvard content, nominate yourself. There are a lot of few free trainings which are available in the market, which you can nominate for, right? And then slowly you will acquire that skills sitting at home. The entire education system is running from home right now on Zoom or any other conference facility. So if that education system can run, if students of age 3 years, 4 years, 5 years can collaborate on technologies like Zoom sitting at home, you're grown up, right? And you're almost like a graduate now, or you might actually started looking out for a job after spending 1 or 2 years in a job. Then why can't you really upskill yourself utilizing all those online platforms? If online platforms are not really helping you, then grab someone who's there in your network who has got that skill. Sit with him, understand with him, right? There's no challenge in kind of reaching out to someone in your network and asking help, saying that I want to learn X technology. It's a great opportunity, right? It's a great opportunity to upskill during this pandemic. Be patient. Things is going to really definitely look better in next couple of months time. Apply whatever jobs what you see as part of your search. And the moment you search, don't just limit your search to a limited kind of job portals. Don't just look at only Naukri. There is a huge world in LinkedIn. You will be able to connect with recruiters on LinkedIn. Utilize LinkedIn as another opportunity. Monster, Indeed, there are a lot of new job sites which are coming up. There are different blogs written by recruiters, different blogs written by hiring managers listing out all those open positions. I still keep seeing many open positions on LinkedIn, right? So what happens is the moment you build that kind of network on social media, automatically you will start seeing those kind of openings. For example, if I create a profile on Facebook and I start now kind of subscribing to all that evil which is happening on social media, subscribe to some movies or something different, then automatically my day is spent in that particular world. But if I take a different look and connect with only those people who are industry experts, who discuss about technology, who discuss about growth, who discuss about the current industry, who discuss about opportunities across the world, automatically I'll start seeing those posts. Then I'll learn from those posts, right? It's more about, it's not about just being present on social media. It's about how do you present on the social media, what kind of network you've got, what kind of network you're part of, right? So if you don't expand your network and the right network, you lose opportunities. If you connect with someone, if you're searching for a job on sales, unless you connect with people who are already in sales, you may not get a right guidance. When I say right guidance, you may have a question, what kind of guidance I can get by looking at a post on LinkedIn. A person who's already performed that sales role, he may write a beautiful article about the challenges which he's facing right now in his current role in terms of acquiring clients. That can be a huge learning for you because he's talking about what he's facing right now in his current role. So you're learning that before even you get into that particular job, right? Expanding the right network, not just the network, the right network is important, and it will help you land good opportunities, right? It's also time to take, to reflect on whatever you learned so far. Take a pause. Think, what you learned so far. You just did engineering from, okay, tier 2, tier 3 college, which is not really helping you to find a job. What are the skills you learned? Software engineering was one of the jobs, or mechanical engineering or civil engineering, some few subjects which you learned. Now, are those subjects helping you to get a job? You may want to just reflect on it, go back and try to kind of refresh your knowledge, which you couldn't do it as part of your education. Try to learn those important stuff, and also find an opportunity to kind of connect those learnings to what these companies are really asking for. How do you connect that? By finding those jobs on job boards, understand the job description, read the job description, and try to see which all skills do you possess, which all knowledge you have got from those books you have learned, and then whatever gap exists, try to fill that gap. So it's a great time, I'm telling you, is to reflect back and see what skills you possess and what skills you need to upskill. Adaptability is a huge skill. So one of the researchers says that the companies who have been thriving, companies who have been growing faster, are the ones who have adapted to the situation. Right? If you see right now, companies like Amazon, all those e-commerce industry, even companies have been slightly traditional, have mend their ways of doing business, which means that they're adaptable to the current situation, adaptable to the current COVID situation. They're still earning profits. If not earning profits, they're still doing decent enough, and they will blow up the moment this pandemic goes off. Right? They will just go high on stocks. They will increase their profits because they have been kind of sustaining this current market by applying that adaptability. Similarly, for you as a job seeker, you need to be adaptable. How does this adaptable looks like? Not just finding a job in Hyderabad because your family stays here. Find a job somewhere else also, because the chances of getting a job will increase the moment you start looking at other locations. Your family might say that don't go. Have a discussion with your family. Try to convince them. Tell them that this is a difficult situation. I'll come back to the city after a year, or take your family there along with you. Being adaptable. Right? That's about adaptability. Adaptability also means that you're slightly trying to change the track. So it's more about landing a job. The first job is really important for you. And the moment you land first job, automatically your learning will get aligned. And there's always an opportunity for you to kind of change tracks, change companies anytime. Once you join any company, no one is going to catch your collar and say, you have joined my company, you have to retire from this company. No one can say that legally also, right? You decide to leave a company after 1 year, 2 years time, since you're not finding the job to be challenging, or you got a personal issue, you want to come back to Hyderabad from X location, you can come back and start your career here. So the important step for you right now is finding a job. To find a job, you need to be adaptable. You need to show that flexibility in your job search. If the skills what you're getting as a job is not so exciting skill, nowadays people are talking about AI, machine learning, right? So if you're not able to find those skills jobs, then find a job on software engineering, nearest field. At later stage, you can actually upskill to learn that particular new skills. Right? So let's move on. So what you're really doing at home when you're sitting idle because no one is calling you for an interview, right? There are different opportunities, different ways you can, keep yourself busy. I've already spoken about a couple of things here. You can keep watching the webinars. There are a lot of webinars happening online. Almost every discussion used to happen as a group of 3 or 4 people. It is now happening online, and whatever those groups discussions are, if there's no confidentiality in the discussion, it is pretty much uploaded on their website, and it is also uploaded on YouTube. You need to search for those opportunities, those channels, subscribe, and then spend time. Right? There are a couple of platforms which will actually provide you free kind of learning. Career Contest is one, HubSpot webinars. Go for platforms like Udemy and other platforms which will not really cost you so much, but the advantage is you are spending time productive by learning one particular skills. Or if you don't really want to go through all this, try to connect with your friends or your certs or your seniors who are currently doing a job. Try to spend like 2-3 hours in a week on call or meet them in person and learn new skill. So keep your time productive when you are at home. When you're at home, if you're not able to do anything, it does not mean that you keep wasting your time. Similarly, you can acquire certifications, right? All those trainings program which happens online. There's also a huge learnings available on LinkedIn Learning. Go for it, right? And whatever learning you go through, you'll also get a certification. Take a free digital course. Attend virtual events. Every big company, starting from SAP, Microsoft, all these companies are actually doing all the events virtual. Meaning the reason why they do events is they talk about the new products, new offerings as part of their product portfolio. You'll be able to sit at home, understand, learn what Salesforce is coming up as a new service, or what Microsoft is thinking about as a new next product. Right? How do you do that? By just attending those virtual events. How do you search for those virtual events? Google is the best platform. Search for it. Go to Microsoft website. Search Microsoft on LinkedIn, on different social platforms. All of these companies has got very strong presence on social media. They keep talking about what is happening internally as well as externally. You just need to subscribe to the right channels to get this kind of information, right? So a couple of job hunting tips which I want to kind of focus on for next few minutes, and then I'll open it up for Q&A. Don't expect in-person interviews. If you see right now, whichever companies are hiring have almost gone virtual. Every interview is happening on Zoom. Every interview is happening on internet, right? So which means that you need to understand how that works. How that works, you need to really make sure that you're sitting at a quiet place if you're being called for a virtual Zoom interview, and make sure there is no distraction around, and get still dressed, right? And be ready for the interview. Understand what kind of technology you're going to use. You might find a new technology which you have been asked to use to attend the interview. So make sure that you are preparing for it by in advance by trying to understand that particular technology, right? Look at in those web cameras so that you maintain that eye contact. It might be difficult, but we need to learn, right? We need to show that adaptability. We need to show that growth mindset of learning new ways of interacting with the HRs. Right? Trial your tech. So do a trial tech, meaning just log into Zoom in advance to see if your Zoom is working. Make sure your headset is working. Be ready to ask some additional questions. When people are talking on this conference, don't interrupt them. At times, when you interrupt, especially on phone or on virtual, kind of model, people, they think that you got a point, and then if you're not able to really ask, they may think that you are trying to distract. So try to create that time or pause whenever there's a pause when the person is asking any question. Then take that as an opportunity to ask your question. And I'm sure in every interview, especially in this virtual world, people will ask you questions. People will ask you if you got any questions, and they will actually give you time, saying that now you can ask your questions, right? So that way, these are a few job hunting tips, especially in the current situation. Just to give you a brief about how the companies are kind of reacting basis the current situation. Almost every company who thought about hiring, say 100 people this year in January, are still going ahead and hiring at least 60 to 70 positions, if not 100. Those companies who thought of deciding about hiring numbers little later at the starting of the year, they would have actually put hiring on hold, right? Those companies who were planning to actually have already started doing the interviews, they are still continuing. The decision of making an offer might slightly go slow. Irrespective of any situation here, the moment you find that there is a job available on the job board, apply for it, and don't think that these companies will knock your house, knock your room, call you multiple times saying that there's a job opportunity. It is about your career. You need to own it, and you need to start looking out for the right job. So which also means that there are opportunities still exist right now in the market. It may not be in huge number. It may be in small in number, but you need not say I'm going to pause now, and look for a job next year. Till next year, I'll sit at home. Till next year, I'll manage my father's small business. Till next year, I'll try to take rest, focus on my health, go for exercise. No, that's not the alternate solution. You need to keep trying, and believe me, whatever you're going through right now will add so much on your experience, because this is a tough time. So how do you react in this tough time is a skill. If you take it as positive, apply growth mindset, you're learning new things. If you're taking it as an opportunity, sitting at home, upskilling, this is a great time you got to learn new skills. If your engineering was supposed to get over by March, your exams are still happening, or you completed your exams, there is no future look. Consider that you are still part of your college, and consider that you are still learning. Buy books, right? Go for any online training, online certification. While you are searching for a job, invest huge amount of time to learn. There are different things you can learn, as I told you, right? Even there's courses on how do you face interviews. If not courses, at least talk to your friends, understand how they have actually managed those interviews. Take inputs, come back, write it down on a paper. The way you prepare your resume, also prepare a parallel document, in a document which can go in your pocket and can become a reference document whenever you apply for a job. And that reference document should have all those commonly asked questions which are commonly asked by different companies. Prepare a script, and then try to talk that script in your own language, right? Try to look authentic about whatever you share, right? So that way, have those commonly asked questions, and your answer written on the paper and start practicing it. How do you practice it? Record your videos, record your answers, and then play it. And again, record once again and play it. See the difference. Unless you're not making any improvement, keep doing that multiple times. This is the part of preparation you can do right now sitting at home. A brilliant opportunity to improve, a brilliant opportunity to, kind of plan, right? If this would have not been there, you would have been called out by your friends, right? Asking you to join any of those parties or functions, and you would have wasted time. It's a great opportunity sitting at home. Use the technology for your service. Use this technology to learn and prepare, right? These are the few tips. And also decide which one are you, right? At times, since this current situation is making everyone's life tough, right? The moment you start learning more, you will see more opportunities coming across. The moment you learn new skill, automatically, so far you were searching for 10 jobs. The moment you learn new skill, then you are searching for another 10 jobs. Then your job search will expand further, right? There are people who are just keep critiquing that they just say things are not positive. Do a doer, be a doer. Whatever you think you plan to do, if you plan to complete this course, complete it with complete focus, right? So decide which type of person are you. Are you a person who would take failure on the face of it, take it as a challenge and keep trying? Or are you a person who's going to consider failure as a failure and stop thinking beyond, not apply growth mindset, right? You need to definitely apply growth mindset in everything you do as part of your daily activities. Unless you don't apply growth mindset, you may not find that success, sooner. It may take longer time for you to search job. You will find, well, finally after a year or so, you may find a job. You will still get a job, but those jobs may not really add value to your career. So what you need to do right now is come up with this growth mindset. Search for growth mindset videos on YouTube. There are brilliant videos. And then start tuning your mindset towards a growth mindset. Then find those opportunities to upskill. Find opportunities to network. So one is find opportunities to network on social platforms, right? Second, connect with people on phone or on Zoom to understand their experiences, ask questions and take guidance, right? And third, keep exploring for opportunities. Fourth, show that adaptability in your job search. As I told you, go beyond different cities, go beyond the skill set. Once you land a job, then always you become you will be in demand, right? And then the moment you're in demand, you have an options to choose which company you to join. Then the moment you find an option for you to choose in Hyderabad, you'll come back to Hyderabad. So that way, don't have any restrictions to start your career. So this is my last slide. What I'll do is, since we are almost, we've got like 10 minutes to spend to take any questions. If you can actually unmute yourself and one after the other, you can ask the questions or put it on chat window. I'll read those questions and ask. More questions? Was I kind of boring you? Was it helpful? Any thoughts? Any feedback for me?
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah,
Go ahead.
Omar Khan here from Wipro. So basically, I just wanted to know, like, what is the current trend among the HR fraternity, how this particular situation is like going, and how far like this work from home and other things would continue. Any of the sort idea is there? When
Yeah.
it's going?
So got your question. So currently this would continue for some more time. If you see the companies, they have actually announced that they will allow work from home, or they want their employees to work from home till December. There are companies that have actually gone beyond of making this work from home happen till mid of next year, right? A lot of companies are actually waiting to see how other companies are managing this, learn from it, and then start asking employees to come to office. Now keep in mind that whatever organizations decide, right? It could be either for some more time you might actually work from home, or you might be called back to office. In both the situations, adaptability is something we should show as an employee. And at the same time, sitting at home and working from home also has got its advantages. And we do really understand how do we manage our time. So one of the difficult things what we're facing, including me, all of the employees, are how do we balance our work with our family? How do we balance this work life, right? That's where we are actually struggling. It's a learning for all of us. So to answer your questions, companies are looking different ways of working. They are constantly in touch with government to understand, the current COVID situation, how the cases are increasing. There are a few organizations who are tracking to understand how many employees have kind of, affected with this COVID, right? To see how what kind of support they can extend. And companies are also looking at the global situation. If your office has got offices, in different locations, they can actually take a call globally saying that, we'll extend for another 6 months time at all global locations. Or they might actually open up saying that, we will start from X date, and they might actually ask not all employees to come to office. They might split. They might actually ask only 25% of employees to come to office. Rest 75% will continue for a month, and another 25% will come the following month. Right? Those are the different ways companies are looking. None of them have actually started executing all these ideas, but they are evaluating. They form different committees within the organization. They're taking expert advice to see, how they want manage when their office opens up, because a lot of things, right? You will be using the same if you're in a common property. So how do they really sanitize the common areas, right? How do they really provide a safe workplace? There are also discussions going around. How do we maintain that 6 feet distance between cubicles, right? If there are meeting rooms, and if the meeting room currently accommodates about 10 people, with the current situation, how do we kind of remove those walls and make it easy for employees to sit at far locations and still collaborate? So no answers yet for all these questions. We all are going through all these questions, and within HR, there's interesting conversations also going on. Now, how do we really keep our employees motivated and engaged in the current work from home model? And if you see, the technology like Zoom is helping us to do a lot of games and have those whiteboard kind of activities so that we engage the workforce. There are companies who are sending gifts, goodies for people at home so that they kind of feel happy about it. There are companies who have kind of started signing $1 billion contracts on emails, right? These are different ways companies are exploring to keep the business running, and especially there is a lot of focus on employee health and safety, and you might actually see huge change in our insurance benefits also in next 1 or 2 years time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your response on this.
No problem. I think there's one question on chat window. The question is, I just wanted to know. Hold on. I just wanted to know about career opportunities in AI. Is this a good start a career in AI after holding 5+ years experience in different domain? So I'm not an AI expert. I'm from HR background, but we keep hearing this question. People are more fascinated towards the new age technologies like AI and the ML kind of technologies. See, these technologies are the way these technologies have come into existence is to enable business, right? So if your current whatever you're doing right now, since your question is about upgrading yourself after 5 years experience, if you think this AI technology will further provide you opportunities to grow in your current role or grow within that organization, you should actually go for it. And sitting at home, spend like 1 hour every day to learn this technology. AI is definitely a booming sector. Now, how does AI is getting utilized by different companies? There's still like question mark there, because not every company may really use this as a technology. Only few companies might actually find value in implementing this. But over a period of time, these are a few new technologies which will actually be in much demand in next couple of years time. So that way, look at the top technology, look at how the technology connects to your current role, and in your current role, will that allow you to further grow? Right? This is the mapping you need to do. This is more of a career mapping. Now, the other way you look at your career is you just look at what career you want to be in next 5 years time, and if you want to be in that position, what the skill set you build on. So one of the skill set could be AI. If AI is one of the skill set, you need to start working. So there's another question which says, I'm in software technologies. So as of now, current COVID, can I look into different domain jobs? So search for a domain which is nearest to your skills. If you were trying for software technologies, software engineering kind of role, there may be some other jobs which may not be into software engineering, which are pretty close by. That's one option you can explore. Second, if you were looking for software technology kind of related jobs, so far you would have been looking for all big companies. There are a lot of mid-sized companies who are still generating revenues, have been consistent in the way they have been operating. Try to explore that market as well. That market is also huge. You might be compromising on some of those big companies, but what you're also doing is you're not compromising on your skill set. So the moment you don't find a job, desired job into software engineering in big companies, the second option I would recommend you to is to look at those mid-sized companies instead of changing the track. If you are still not able to find that software engineering role even in the mid-sized companies, then it's time for you to look at into different domains. Now, how does those different domains look like? You will have to connect with your technology expert whom you have been talking to so far. If you're not talking to any of those technology experts, in PSF we've got a lot of technology experts. I can help you connect with them, and you can take those advices. Hello, sir. I'm a fresher. Currently, I'm learning Salesforce, but I can't find any opportunities as a fresher. Or I have learned some other technology to get a job. So again, the same advice applies to you. If you're learning a new technology, normally the moment you learn a new technology, our mindset is tuned in such a way that we always try for a big job, a big company, which is good. Having high aspirations is always good. But considering the current situation, if there is a small company somewhere in the world giving you a remote opportunity or asking you to work on any of those small projects, start working on those small projects. There are many platforms which will help you to get those small projects, or they can be small companies who might ask you to work wherever you are right now and provide that support. The moment you start experiencing life that particular technology, start seeing that technology in play, then you can add those experiences in your profile, and that experience will add a lot of value on your profile. And at a later stage, say after 6 months time, when the entire industry opens up, start hiring, then that experience will add a lot of value. Then you'll be able to target all the big companies. So if you're a fresher, you're learning Salesforce, try to search for those companies. There are a lot of many mid-size consulting firms who are implementing Salesforce as a technology, right? They may not pay you as you want, right? They might ask you actually, make you work for long hours, irrespective of whatever they ask you to do, unless they're asking you to pay any money, or unless they're asking you to kind of, you know, um, do any wrong activity or ask you to submit your documents. You can do anything what they're asking, right? If they say you need to work for 12 hours time, work for 12 hours. They're saying that you need to work from end to end, take that extra load of work and still work from your home. Take that as an opportunity. They say that they're not going to pay you salary, they might ask you to work for free. Work for free instead of sitting at home, right? That will definitely add. So as a fresher, be adaptable, be flexible, and always look for an opportunity to gain some experience in whichever domain you are learning right now. Okay, the next question is, hello, I just want to know, okay, this AI is done. Do you have any social media platform sharing the tips and advices? So what we do is, as part of PSF, keep inviting different professionals from different streams and different backgrounds to come and interact with our job seekers. We do this program every Sunday starting from 11 till 12. 1 hour program every week. You'll be able to hear from experts. This is one way of connecting with PSF. Log into our website and you will find some contact numbers. Call them up, tell them that you need some tips on X topic, right? The person who will pick that call, he will connect you to the right person who has already worked in that area, and you can start interacting with them. That's one way of connecting with our network. We've got a very strong jobs network, and we got our admins who are super helpful, super interactive. Message them, tell them that you need some advice on X technology. They will connect with the right person. Even the person may not be from our network, we would still make a recommendation and help you with the right person. I hope I answered your question. The next one is, I worked earlier same company as 6 years as implementation support, manual testing 5 years in the same company. Now they are giving experience 11 years. Sorry, I didn't understood your question. Question is by Khader Shah. You can unmute and you can ask me or put it on the chat window. I'll go to the next one. Sir, I'm Saudi returned for more than 5 years, but now I'm here to switch to another field. How to show previous experience as they have not provided experience letter. How to show the previous experience peers advice. So the moment you gain some experience, uh, companies might actually ask for those experience letters. The moment they don't find that experience letters, they will try to understand whether you are genuinely working in that area, right? My suggestion for those people who actually return from Middle East, first thing, again, apply the growth mindset. As part of the growth mindset, you need to be aware that this market is different from that market. If someone moves from India market to Middle East market, they will also find similar kind of challenges. Now, since you moved from a different market to this market, you need to understand first, gain understanding about how this market looks like. What are the skill set they really look for? What are the processes they follow to, employ you or provide an opportunity for you? So now, as a Saudi return or a Middle East return, and if you already have 5 years experience, if you're not holding that experience letter, my recommendation, this is my personal, I may be wrong here in few of the cases, is target mid-sized companies. Guys, the reason why I'm telling you, I've always been talking about more of the mid-sized companies is we always try for all big companies. The moment you try for big companies, they will ask you for experience. They will not only ask for experience, they will also ask relevant experience. If Wipro is hiring experienced person, they will look at experience from companies like Infosys or other consulting organizations like Cognizant or Deloitte. If Deloitte is hiring, Deloitte might actually look at experience from similar kind of companies. So that's where it becomes slightly difficult for experienced professionals to land their dream job in the dream company. The best way to start or restart your career in the local market, if you have zero experience in this local market, is target those small companies who got a lot of work. So, and if you see the current senior workforce who are actually in the top positions in different companies, they would have actually started their career with all those mid-sized companies. They have learned the best part of mid-sized companies is they will give you a challenging work. Instead of hiring 4 people, that mid-sized company will hire 1 person, which is you, and he will make you do work of almost 4 people, right? What is the advantage with that for you? You're learning work of 4 people, right? And you're learning a lot of things in a very short time. So that way you will gain, your exposure will be huge. It will be challenging. You will have to manage your work life because by that years of experience, you may have family to take care of it, but still it's more of a sacrifice. Option 1 you is join mid-sized companies. Ask for the moment you join this mid-sized companies, they will not ask you for all those documents, right? They will not ask you for the certificates. What they look at is your current skills, whether you will be able to do the job, right? If you look at this job market, there are 3 important things what every company would look for. First is whether you are interested to do a job, your interest, right? Your attitude. Second, your skill set. Third, whether you will fit that company. So first thing is whether you will do the job whether you will do the job, you will have to show that willingness during your conversation. You'll have to show that you are willing, more than willing to do this job and give that commitment and show that commitment in your work. Second, even if you don't possess that skills, there are companies who are willing to invest on you. They're willing to invest on you as long as you can commit. And how do you commit? You need not actually sign a bond. Just that half an hour conversation would be enough for you, for the company to understand how committed you are. They'll ask you like 4 or 5 questions. They will do an analysis and understand how committed you are. So your responses has to be pretty accurate. You'll have to go with that open mindset, show that adaptability in your conversation, show your interest levels, and always talk about your flexibility. So I don't know if I really answered this question. My suggestion is target mid-sized companies. They will not ask you for any experience letter. The moment you gain some experience from that mid-sized companies, you can jump. Right? You can actually apply for target for all big companies and start your career there. I'll go to the next question. What opportunities does a BSc, BZC graduate have in software IT industry? So the software IT industry has taken a lot of turns in the recent past. Earlier, they used to look at only IT stream, right? Even my company is looking at different kind of skill set. There's also a talk in the industry that you might actually see this industry in next couple of years time, not looking at your certification, rather looking at your mindset, your willingness to learn, and some bit of your experience or some bit of your skill set. So even if you're not from non-IT background, you still want to learn IT and start a career in IT, you can still do that as part of this new model. But more specific to your education and skill set, I may not be able to really comment on it because I'm not from that particular background. But as an HR, I would say if you come with the right mindset and if my company can provide the training, I would be happy to hire you. Similarly, any HR do the same thing if they have that company has a policy to train people on that particular skill set. But if the role demands that the person has to have that experience, then we may not be able to hire you. Right? Keep that in mind. So don't just think only from a job seeker perspective. Always think from how the company is looking for, right? What they're really looking forward to have in a particular job seeker. Then basis that you can plan backwards. Next question is, what if you learn a skill added to your CV, but again the employer will ask for experience in that skill to consider you for job? It happens almost in every organization. So what's the solution for it? It can be the same story in almost every company. So your question is, you put a skill set on your CV and you don't have experience on it, then the company might ask you for that experience. So good news for you is, since the discussion is happening, it means that you're almost gone to a stage where you're interacting with the HR. Most of the such situations, it so happens that you submit your resume with highlighting what you learned and also mentioning what your experience is. And if there is no match between the skills what you acquired and what you're currently doing, then most of the time resumes get kind of rejected for that particular job, for that particular job profile. So what you need to do is, you need to first customize your profile basis what position you apply for. If I've got like 5 years experience, and if I worked on 4 different technologies during those 5 years, and if I'm looking at technology 1 as my next career move, in my profile, I would focus more on that technology 1 than focusing equal focus on all the technologies. I'll talk more about that particular technology, which I've already worked on it, than talking about all the technologies I possess. So the moment I talk about my all experiences, my profile will be like 10 pages. And the moment my profile is so huge, HR may spend like half a minute or less than half a minute to skim through your profile and take a decision whether this profile is right or wrong for that particular job profile. So make your profile relevant for the position you apply, even if it requires you to build your resume for every job you apply for. That's an effort you put, as a job seeker. And once you put that skill set in your profile, saying that you acquired the skill set, you learned the skill set, you may want to kind of have a write up, I would say have some talking points. And when you are invited for a discussion, show that willingness and show that commitment and attitude that you would further explore on this technology if given an opportunity. Again, this works well when you are again targeting for a job which is not really asking that experience in huge numbers. If that job is asking you even basic education on that particular skill set, you can crack it by showing that commitment. But if the job profile say that you need to have 5 years experience on the skill set, you will not get it, because you just acquired that skill set and your experience is not relevant. So what you need to search is, you need to search for a job which is asking for the skill set, but may not be asking so huge experience. They might just say a 1 year experience. So that 1 year experience can be relevant for you, and the job can be slightly junior for you basis your age or basis your qualification or basis your previous compensation. So that's the sacrifice you have to do. You might have to kind of bring down your salary expectations, start the job, take a year or two, and automatically you'll be corrected in the market. Companies are putting a lot of efforts to bring fairness in how they are paying. Right? The moment you find that you are highly skilled, less paid, they will give extra budget, and they will make sure that you are paid fairly when compared to other peers. Especially when you're performing, they'll pay you more. Right? So that's my suggestion. I'll move on to the next one. Hi brother, as of now, which technology is leading to learn from work? There are multiple opportunities to learn. Almost every technology is at your service. You just need to find which platform is the right platform for you to learn. Udemy is one example. On non-technical skills, LinkedIn Learning is another example. There are a lot of other new platforms which can help you to kind of learn. I think there was one list which I saw somewhere. Give me a second. I'll share if I could find that in a second. Otherwise, I would let you search on Google. Just 1 second. Yeah. So Coursera is one platform which is free of cost. There is something called as MOOC. edX is another one. Udemy is another one. I will copy and paste this in the chat window. You can have a look at it. So there are multiple platforms, and you need to decide which technology you want to go for. And again, I will not be able to comment on technology because it's purely on your interest and purely on which skills, how you want to build your career. I'll move on to the other question. What opportunities does a BSc graduates have in software IT industry? I think I responded to this question. Same question as the other one. Um, Perfect. So I don't see any further questions. We are already crossed our time. It's 12:10. I would highly encourage and recommend you to keep yourself available every Sunday between 11 to 12. Um, you will get a chance to interact with more senior professionals than me, and there'll be a lot of technical folks also will come and share their thoughts. Similarly, log into our professionals solidarity forum website, and we also got a channel on Facebook and on LinkedIn. You can connect with our volunteers there and take required suggestions. We actually have an office also at Medipatnam, but right now it's not operational because of the current situation. So once we open the office, we'll also make our volunteers available there for you to interact with them, right? So all the best, and stay safe and keep focused, apply growth mindset, search more stuff on growth mindset on Google and YouTube. The brilliant videos, go through it, apply that growth mindset in whatever you do and how you do it in terms of searching for a job. All the best. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Looking forward to see all of you find a job and join PSF as a volunteer. Ehsan bhai, we can close the call.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Shafil bhai. This was a wonderful session, especially the mindset thing. That was really good. Yeah, thanks a lot, and we'll connect back next week, hopefully.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Have a nice day. Bye.